but they have received by far, with this administration, the most incompetent government of our lifetimes. Mr. Speaker, again, there's a reason that politicians like to blame their problems on messaging. It implies that if only the American people heard our message, they would support it. But in this case, it's the American people that are hearing very clearly the Democrat message, and they reject it. I thank my colleagues for joining me on the floor this evening, where we'll be talking about the broad array, the panoply of crises created by this administration. And Mr. Speaker, I yield first the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Grothman.
Thank you very much. I don't like to consider myself as an overly partisan congressman, so I'll lead off my speech by quoting two Democrats, kind of as a background for the rest of this speech. In Political, so you know it's true, an unnamed Democrat quotes Barack Obama as saying, "Don't underestimate Joe's ability to blank things up." Former Obama Defense Secretary Robert Gates says that Joe Biden has been wrong on nearly every major foreign policy and national security issue over the last 4 decades. So I want my Democrat friends to think about that. Now, I'm not an expert on foreign policy, but it seems a goal in the Ukrainian-Russian war should be to end hostilities. On the internet, you can find numbers from 2,000 to 20,000 civilians that have died so far. And of course, it appears as though tens of thousands of military personnel have passed away as well. Every day, the number of Ukrainian and military deaths continues to go up. I'll point out that Ukraine has the second lowest birth rate of the 100 largest countries in the world. And Russia also has a low birth rate. And when I happened to be in San Diego about a year ago, in that sector at that time, just that sector in that time, the second most common nationality to enter the United States was Russian. So in other words, both Russia and Ukraine should be desperate to hold on to the young people that they have. We have helped the Ukraine, and fortunately Ukraine has staved off this inexcusable aggression, and every day that there are good reports from Ukraine, we should be glad for the successes that Ukraine has had. However, obviously a goal should be to end this war, and we should be working towards the end of the war to save the lives and to save the economic devastation that we will leave behind in Ukraine. President Biden and Defense Secretary Austin should stop and think whether their statements are more or less likely to bring Russia to the negotiating table. I encourage my Democrat friends to give a little bit of guidance to this administration as to how to end this war. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Some wise counsel there.